Alright guys, today I wanted to make a video on Youri Tielemans' potential move to Arsenal. So the report reads, Arsenal are confident of beating Manchester United to the £30 million signing of Leicester City's 25-year-old Belgian midfielder, Youri Tielemans. I certainly feel this would be a better signing for Arsenal than it would for Man United, because for Man United, it's signing a player who doesn't solve the problem in that position, because Man United's midfield is desperately lacking a grafter like a number six. In fact, Leicester's other central midfielder, Wilfred Ndidi, would be a better solution than Youri Tielemans for Man United. Arsenal, I don't think it's the worst move ever, but I feel as though they've sort of already got enough depth in that position and could focus on other areas first, to be honest. I don't think it'd be a bad move, but they already have Martin Odegaard. They've just signed Fabio Vieira. Granit Xhaka can play slightly more advanced than a number six role. They've got Albert Sambi Lokonga, who, whilst he didn't overly impress last season in his first season in English football, he's still very young and is going to get more chances, I think. And also Emile Smith-Rowe is the one everyone's forgotten about over the past few months because his game time's been reduced. So they've got a lot of options in those like two number eight positions that they use in Arteta's system already. So I feel as though defenders are more important at the moment because they've got an extra number eight in midfield with Vieira. They've also just signed Gabriel Jesus to like play across the forward line, so that gives them more options up there. Maybe another forward that's pushing it though, or maybe another sitting midfielder. But they definitely need another defender, like someone who can play both centre back and maybe left back as well, in my opinion, before they sign Youri Tielemans. But yeah, with Tielemans as a player, I'm not overly sold on him. I think he's a good player, but I feel as though certainly last season he showed signs of laziness. I thought there were times where I watched him. I don't know if it was just poor run of form, but I remember the Tottenham game where Leicester, threw away what should have been a win to a loss with two Steven Bergwijn goals in like the 94th and 96th minute of stoppage time or something. And the winner Bergwijn scored was just absolutely atrocious from Tielemans. That being said, he's very good going forward, but I just question his defensive work sometimes. So maybe you just have to use him in the right system, because having with all that, Leicester didn't have Wilfred Ndidi very often last season, so that could be one of the problems. So if Arsenal have Thomas Partey and Granit Xhaka alongside him, then you'd think he would be all right because his defensive responsibilities are reduced. He's definitely the right age, like for a signing of a big club like Arsenal or Man United. They want to be trying to sign players between the age of 22 and 26 is sort of the ideal age bracket. And it is also Leicester's final chance to sell him now, because he has only got the 1 year left on his contract. His contract runs out next summer. That's why the rumoured fee is 30 million, which I would say isn't too far off what I would value him as, like maybe 40. But like, if he didn't have just that 1 year left on his contract, I think Leicester would be holding out for 50 million, to be honest, because they know that someone would probably pay that, which is slightly worrying, isn't it, considering the people that are in charge of football clubs these days. Yeah. I just not completely sure he is Champions League level, to be honest. Obviously, the two clubs going from aren't in the Champions League, so that's not a worry straight away. But they are two teams who are definitely going for Champions League football. And who knows, if Leicester have like a bit of a comeback season next year, obviously this season just gone, I think they finished 10th or something. Um, or it might have been higher, I'm not sure. But they wanted to kick on from two consecutive fifth place positions and try and get into the Champions League. And it looked like at the start of the season they had a chance of doing that. They made a couple of signings that people thought, this is going to definitely bolster their squad depth in Patson Daka, who's, Jamie Vardy's agent, and Boubakary Samari, who looked good for Lille when they won the Ligue 1 in 2020-21 season, but just has failed to impress since coming. And Yannick Vestergaard, the less said about him, the better. Same with Ryan Bertrand, really. So the signings sort of failed, and they had so many players injured. So obviously that's the reason why they flopped a bit last season. But yeah, I just feel as though he's not a player who you can rely on when the going gets tough. Is the problem I have with Tielemans. If I was giving this transfer a rating out of 10, I'll give it a 5. It's not a bad transfer. I just feel as though there's definitely positions Arsenal could focus on more, because, I mean, if we look at their defence, they've got Tomiyasu, who can play centre-back or right-back, usually right-back for Arsenal. Cedric's their backup at right-back, and also at centre-back they've got Gabriel, they've got Ben White, obviously, William Saliba coming in, back from his loan at Marseille, as well as Rob Holding. And at left back they've got Kieran Tierney, who is very injury prone but very good when he plays, and Nuno Tavares, who showed himself to be a bit of a liability at times last season. So I think a backup left back would be a better signing. Also a number 6, because the only real player they have in that position is Thomas Partey at a high level. El Neni he's good, but he's not quite the number 6. He's sort of a partner to a number 6, if that makes sense. He's what I call a Joe Allen player, a player who does all the basics well, not exciting, but and also isn't really like a leader in midfield, if that makes sense. So they could do with another number 6, if anything, and maybe, in fact, they probably don't even need another forward. But I would say they need another forward rather than number 8, because number 8 is one of the positions they're strongest in at the minute. Yeah, so I just don't feel it's needed. For Man United, they're just crying out for number 6, which I still think they're failing to recognise, to be honest, because Frankie de Jong isn't going to be the answer. If they sign him, he's a very good player and would play well for them, but they still need someone to sit in front of the defence and just give the midfield players in front of them more licence to just go forward without having to worry about losing possession and then having to run back. So yeah, I don't think it would be a good move for United. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.